It seemed like a good idea at the time. A Scottish entrepreneur thought he'd make money and, just as importantly, make a whole lot of children happy by staging a Willy Wonka spectacular in Glasgow. The idea was to take an empty warehouse and fill it with the wonder of Roald Dahl's imagination. He promised it'd be like nothing the kids had ever seen before. And he was right, but for all the wrong reasons. The event was a disaster. Among many failings, the entrepreneur's greatest was to rely on artificial intelligence to plan and then sell the extravaganza. As you'll see though, AI simply wasn't smart enough to understand the magic of Willy Wonka. Fun turned to farce. Dreary Glasgow is a far cry from a Roald Dahl fantasy. So, folk in Scotland's largest city were understandably excited when the magic of Willy Wonka was coming to town.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
This is what they expected and what they paid for. A recreation of the enchanting Hollywood classic film and all the Willy Wonka bells and whistles.
A chocolate river.
The event would transform a Glasgow warehouse into a magical chocolate factory, a huge playground for children to enjoy.
Not bad.
The glossy advertisements promised kids the world. Chocolatey bliss, whimsical performances, Oompa Loompas, giant mushrooms, and adventure at every bite, and all the lollies and sweets they could have ever imagined. Mum, Alana Lockins, was among hundreds sucked in by the allure of a special day out for her Wonka-obsessed children.
We watched the films on a regular basis, listened to the soundtrack, singing the songs together and stuff. So they had quickly become, quite big fans, and they were really excited.
A family of Wonka fans, you must have felt like you struck gold.
Well, a golden ticket maybe, yeah. You just want a treat? Close your eyes. No peeking.
So excited, Alana bought 7 tickets to the Glasgow Willy Wonka experience
Right, open, Lila.
for a staggering £165.
Wonka ball.
That's more than 300 Australian dollars. She even put on a show of her own to make precious memories for her 7 and 4-year-old.
Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory experience.
Can't wait to go to the factory.
When I first booked the tickets, it was like, the kind of Wonka branding, and the kind of description of it sounded pretty spectacular. How wrong was I?
On the morning of the event, the anticipation and excitement for waiting families had peaked. But the moment they walked through the event's doors, it all came crashing down.
What a waste of money.
It was no chocolate factory, it was a bleak, near-empty warehouse with plastic props, shabby banners taped to walls,
Oh, look, it's a chocolate river.
and a chocolate river made of cardboard.
Paid £40 a ticket for this.
There was none of the joy and colour these kids had been looking forward to. It was all so absurd, their disappointment made global headlines.
The disastrous Willy's chocolate experience in Glasgow that went viral.
Some even called the police to complain.
Basically, a big empty warehouse with vinyl backdrops tacked to the wall.
It looks more like Willy Wonka's abandoned auto factory.
It seems the chance has been taking lessons on marketing from the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow.
When we actually got inside and walked upstairs into the warehouse, I just thought, oh dear, what is this? I mean, it was pretty poor, it was pretty dire. It was like something that you would see maybe at a kid's birthday party, not an event that you've paid £35 a ticket for.
And no chocolate.
No, there wasn't. A few jelly beans, about 1/8 of a cup of lemonade, and that was pretty much it.
Handing out those jelly beans was poor Kirsty Patterson, the now infamous sad Oompa Loompa. Nothing summed up the shambles more than this viral photo. Kirsty was one of several actors roped in for a bizarre performance.
It was the jelly bean counter that looked like the meth lab. So it was just jelly beans I was hanging out, yeah. So it was rationed massively as well. It was 2 jelly beans for each person, and then we ran out, so then it had to be 1. It was just shocking. The whole thing was absolutely shocking. I could have set that up 2 seconds in my house, you know. It was awful.
Beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, and
Michael Archibald was the closest thing to Willy Wonka.
this right here.
His task, welcoming the kids to the warehouse of pure disappointment.
The exact perfect words that I had for it was, "This is the place where dreams went to die."
You can't sugarcoat it at all, can you?
No, I couldn't really sugarcoat it per se, because there wasn't much sugar to begin with.
The farcical event instantly went viral. Millions across the world had never seen a debacle quite like it.
Willy's chocolate factory in Glasgow failed miserably.
Hilarity aside, so much of the Glasgow Wonka nightmare points to a much bigger problem, the danger posed by artificial intelligence. All of the event's advertisements, even the actors' scripts, were computer-generated. Rebecca Johnson is an AI ethicist and researcher at the University of Sydney. She fears if hundreds were fooled by this, we're scarily vulnerable to a new age of high-tech trickery.
So seeing that people can be duped by what I think is pretty low-level generated content means that they're definitely at risk of being duped by more slick AI content that perhaps is political in nature, or pretending to be a friend, or pretending to be a bank, trying to get people's identity details or bank accounts or whatnot. That's the much bigger risk. So what happened in Glasgow is a point to kind of take the scales off your eyes and take the rose-coloured glasses off and have a look at what's really going on here.
Children weren't the only ones duped. The actors were too. They had no hope of ever living up to the fantasy a computer concocted, as much as they tried.
People say to me, "Oh, why didn't you just walk off? Like, I would have walked off." And I'm like, it's not as easy as that when there's kids involved and they're walking in their wee outfits and they're all excited and it's like their Christmas presents.
It seems like you were just trying to salvage just an absolute catastrophe.
I mean, a catastrophe is an understatement. I'd just say, yeah, I tried my best, and it was just impossible to salvage. Impossible.
What a waste of...
The organisers were now faced with a warehouse full of distraught children and enraged parents.
They're screaming, they're crying. Some of the kids are just like, "What is this?" The parents are like, "Are you serious?"
You could hear the arguing, you could hear people getting angry, you could hear shouting. You knew it wasn't going to end well at all.
Where was that anger directed?
The anger was directed, I'd say, towards the organiser, Billy.
You're about to meet the man behind it all. Billy Coull's been labelled a con man and a scam artist. Coming up, what was Billy thinking?
I feel that people are owed an explanation.
Looking back on what was promised, it's no surprise the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow was a gigantic failure. Much of the show was imagined by artificial intelligence, something the human organisers were never going to live up to.
How quickly and how easily could someone have pulled this together?
Seconds.
AI expert Rebecca Johnson says it's so simple, anyone could have done it.
So if I put kids playing in a chocolate factory made of candy and put that in, that's what comes up in seconds.
Oh, you're an expert.
Wow.
But you can see the child in the background there. I think that if you zoomed in on that, there might be a few uncanny things going on in there. The faces, the lips, particularly the child at the back.
Do you think it was a calculated scam or just a comedy of errors?
I can't imagine that this was some huge calculated scam. I think it's someone that, you know, saw some tools that they could use, perhaps didn't really think through the implications of what they were doing.
The man responsible is Billy Coull.
I'm not a scam artist, I'm not a con man, I'm not anything like that.
Billy's event company, the House of Illuminati, delivered very little of what was expected. He's now full of excuses, but claims he's no crook.
The venue itself was too large for what I wanted to do. We use projection systems and it creates a fully immersive space. However, it didn't arrive. I was gutted, but I believed that we could push on. The last thing that I wanted to see was children being upset by, frustrated parents.
You've scammed children.
Billy's disastrous event was shut down after just 2 hours. It was so bad, the police were called.
It's not them. So the House of Illuminati guarantees...
The House of Illuminati tells lies.
Billy doubled down. He admits to using AI, but not, he says, to con children.
The script itself was created and written by myself. However, let me be very, very clear on this matter. I suffer with dyslexia. I've had to run it through AI to be able to check spelling, grammar, and continuity.
Artificial intelligence expert Rebecca Johnson isn't buying it. 15 pages of confusing script were handed to actors the day before the Glasgow event.
Beans designed to help keep the wee ones clean, hot and spicy beans that lowers his voice, attract the birds, wink. So...
Excuse me, what was that?
I know, and then it says, it gives an audience direction to laugh and appreciate the playful innuendo, and I'm like, well...
It was clearly gibberish.
It's gibberish, but I mean, it is not G-rated either.
Reading through the script, it's clear it has all the hallmarks of an AI bot.
And the point is that the AI is not actually thinking anything. The AI is, a model that's using mathematical formulas to just generate what is the next most plausible sounding word or sentence in a piece of text. They're not as good as human writers because they don't have an understanding or a worldview or a world context that a human writer would have.
Rebecca's worry is it shows how easily people could be duped by more sophisticated AI. Not just rip-offs and scams, but potentially fake political propaganda.
Deep fake photos like these swirl.
AI technology is advancing at such a rapid rate, it could soon be much harder, even for the trained eye, to spot a fake.
2 years we've gone from something that was really very abstract to something that is very realistic, and certainly realistic enough to be able to fool quite a lot of people.
Can't believe what you see anymore.
Can't believe what you see, can't believe what you hear.
So in 5-10 years' time, we could be sitting here looking up here and not being able to tell the difference.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Glasgow's Willy Wonka ordeal is an example of what damage the misuse of AI can cause. Kids were shattered, parents who spent big on hundreds of tickets were left out of pocket, and it cost Billy too.
They said we're going to start to pursue fair refunds as for money.
My life has been turned up down. My life is ruined. I have lost all my friends. I've lost the love of my life. I was made out to be the face of all evil. When genuinely that's really not the case.
Many families, though, still haven't received refunds, while actors Michael and Kirsty have given up hope of ever getting their full wage. Despite that, they're embracing their newfound infamy. The focus might be on the dangers of AI, but you can always trust an actor to steal the limelight.
Some of my friends were like, oh yeah, like some people are making jokes about it. I've seen some posts on Facebook. It's like millions of views, lots of people talking about it. It was getting insane. But I am having a bit of fun with it, I'd say.
Hasn't turned you off acting, has it?
Oh, definitely not. No, that's my passion. I've done it for years. It's what I'm good at. And I suppose the benefits out this viral meme, it's given me other amazing opportunities with charities and working with kids and showcasing my actual talents.
Can turn any negative into a positive?
Oh, what else? When you've been given one jelly bean, turn it into a jelly. I don't know. Just when you've been given lemon, make it in lemon. Is it, what's the saying again?
When you're given lemon.
When you've been given a lemon, make it into lemonade. You've got to. You've got to.
Hello, I'm Adam Hegarty. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.